Higuruma, who is a lawyer. He's not reincarnated sorcerer. He became a sorcerer, and he learned his technique to such a degree that he's basically considered a first grade sorcerer. Some even scale him higher than first grade sorcerers. You know, Not now in the series though. I wouldn't say that the current Higuruma that you see in the anime is that high, but he's definitely a first grade, and he's of that caliber because what he can do is it's domain expansion. See, he pulls up because he has the most points, so they're trying to get his points so they can add rules to the culling game. And uh, Yuji approaches him and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta fight you, and I don't think you're gonna get my points." He can do what's called confiscation after judgment. He pulls out his domain expansion, the deadly sentencing, and then the judge man, sees what you've done. He pulls out you went into goddamn, you went into a gambling house as a boy, a minor, right? So now if you lied about that, then you get confiscated. Since you lied to me in court, this courtroom, you have to, let me know, you know. And if he didn't remember it, you know, it wouldn't have registered with the judge man, right? But he said, I think he said, yeah, I did that, and then he's basically admitted he was guilty. So then he took his cursed energy, right? Took his cursed energy. He couldn't use cursed energy in that fight, but luckily for Itadori, he's still physically strong, right? Then the executioner sword was summoned because they tried him for what he did in Shibuya, which was actually Sukuna. Um, but it still recognized Itadori too. So because he confessed, he was like, "Yeah, it's me." Even though it wasn't, and he's like, and at the end of the fight, because Yuji ended up winning that fight. Because Higuruma didn't actually want to kill Yuji. He knew that actually, Sukuna was the one that did that, and he wasn't in control of that. It's a whole other being doing all that damage. But how powerful is this Higuruma guy, right? 93 for his strength, 93 for his speed, 90 for his durability, 93 for his endurance, 96 for his intellect, 92 for his experience, 89 for his close skills, 96 for his range skills, 90 for his recoup, 95 for his hacks, and then 92.7 for Higuruma during season 3 of JJK. Later he gets more powerful. I know that. But be cool, call in the corner, and let me know what you think about this guy in the comments.